Ladies and gentlemen, mesdames et messieurs, meine Damen und Herren, señores y señoras, welcome back. This is the third game here of Mover against This Is Jimmy, and Mover changed his color to red, and he is spawning as the red Terran, who would have guessed that, at the bottom left position here on Zelnaga Caverns, which is the third map in this best of 5 here in the finals of the US Craft Cup. We have This Is Jimmy as always spawning as the purple Terran in the top right position. So those two guys are tied up 1-1. Mova taking the first, This Is Jimmy taking the second game. Each player was making advantage of his own play style. Mova his really good macro. This Is Jimmy with his good decision making and unit positioning. And now I'm really curious where this is going here on Zelnaga Caverns, where saw a lot of interesting TVTs. Most of the time we see some sort of Blue Flame Hellion attacks, some cloaked banshee harassments attacks and stuff like that, but in the end it all comes down to who has more siege tanks at the opponent's god expansion and can do a run by, a drive by with the Blue Flame Hellions and a drop by with the Marines in the main base. So this is all what TVT most of the time is about, which is longer than 10 minutes. So I'm really curious where this is going. So we take a look at the production tab, and there we see a tech lab is being produced by Mova. So Mova looks like he wants to go for this Reaper attack once again, which was so successful, especially in the first game. So we see Mova having a small CJ here with this command center, with this SCV building the command center. But now the command center is in production. Of course, now he needs this Reaper to buy himself some time, and going for the really fast stim, starting the stim upgrade 4 minutes in the game. The first 100 gas, 50 gas he spent on the Reaper, and with the next 100 gas he immediately spend those 100 gas on the stim pack research. So I'm really curious how much damage will he be able to do with this Reaper, and of course how much will he scout in the base of This Is Jimmy. Interestingly enough, This Is Jimmy going for a Reaper of his own, but the Reaper of This Is Jimmy will still take another 5 seconds. Meanwhile, Mova is in the top of the base right now. He already arrived there. He will be able to kill some SCVs, and the one SCV goes down. Will he kill another SCV before the Reaper takes him out? Yes, he did. So 2 dead SCVs for 1 dead Reaper. And of course the information that This Is Jimmy finished with the command center, and that This Is Jimmy got a Reaper of his own. So now what does he need to do? Mova, yes, he needs to protect his own base from any kind of Reaper attacks. He's got the Marauder out, and with the Marauder being out, of course he is safe. And now, interestingly enough, take a look at the production tab. It was all the same for just 1 second. Both guys going for the barracks, orbital command, more SCVs, double the Marines, stim pack nearly at the same time, even though Mova decided to get this stim pack a little bit more early. This is Jimmy decided to delay the gas a little bit more. But in the end, they both do the same build, more or less. Having 2 bases right now, having 4 barracks right now. This is 1, 2, 3, 4 barracks, and this is 1, 2 bases. And interestingly enough, This Is Jimmy trying to do a small delay here, but the delay was only worth a couple of seconds. So now Mova is landed with his orbital command, landing 2 mules right away. Meanwhile, we see This Is Jimmy landed with his orbital command as well, but he landed his mules still in the main base. So This Is Jimmy, if we see a longer game, will be mined out in the main base a little bit sooner than Mova actually will be. And take a look at the upgrade once again. So This Is Jimmy, even though his stim was delayed a little bit, he started with the combat shit a little bit sooner. So combat shit will be finished a little bit more early for This Is Jimmy. On the other hand, Mova will be finished first with, and he is already finished with the stim pack upgrade. So let's take a look at the supply. There we see Mova being ahead, 5 supply. No big deal, nothing serious going on. More important, the unit counting station. There we see Mova is ahead, 5 SCVs. He's ahead 6 Marines, and he's got no Marines. Meanwhile, now he's behind 5 Marines, but instead of being behind 5 Marines, he's got 3 Marauders. So all in all, considered with the stim upgrades, the army sizes are about the same. And we still take a look at the production tab. We see a lot of add-ons for 3 add-ons, 3 reactors for mover, 2 reactors here on the barracks, 1 reactor just being built at the factory. So if you see different reactors, this means, for example, 2 reactors on this one screen, and this another icon is saying 1 reactor. This means one type of building is building 2 reactors, for example, 2 barracks were building a reactor, and the second icon showing also a reactor as well indicates that the reactor, this other 3rd reactor, is built on another building. So Mover now taking out destructible rocks here right now. He's even going for the, I just thought for a second this was another expansion, but it's a little bit too small for that, so it's just a barracks here. So we will have 5 barracks, and there we see the engineering bay coming up. This time, ThisisJimmy is a little bit faster with the engineering bay. His upgrade is already started 50 seconds ago, so he's behind. Mover is behind 45 seconds. ThisisJimmy, on the other hand, will be behind in terms of starport units, because his starport still takes 20 more seconds to finish. On the other hand, Mover, yes, he's got the 2 medivacs already out, so he might even be able to do quite some damage, because yes, no siege tanks against no siege tanks right now. Mover is moving back with his marines, because last time I checked, yes, 3 marines do better than 2 marines, but now 5 marines by Mover coming in. Nice micro here, losing no marines at all, injuring those 2 other guys, and of course with the medivacs, Mover will get healed once again. He's got 4 medivacs in each second. Those medivacs do not heal, they accumulate more and more energy. And this will be quite a lot in the end, because yes, if you got shitload of marines, you need more energy on the medivacs than, for example, when you got marauders. Even though marauders might have more HP, marines take more damage because they have 1 armor less. Without any upgrades, the marauder already has 1 upgrade. Nice job here by Mover to check if there is any expansion at all, or if there's not. Meanwhile, Mover is also building some supply depots behind at the, is this a tasteless secret hallway, or is this John the Translator Common Knowledge way? I'm not really sure, but it's at least one of those 2 guys. And I think this is a tasteless secret hallway, and this is a John the Translator Common Knowledge walkthrough way, whatever. Anyway, so command center is landing here at the natural expansion, not at the gold expansion, and with this command center landing there, he will be able to do quite some damage. Let's take a look at the unit counting station. So we got 47 marines against 60 marines. So 30 marine supply lead, 30 marine lead currently for ThisisJimmy. On the other hand, Mover got 7 medivacs actually, and 7 medivacs are really good to have. Even though ThisisJimmy got a siege tank, those 10 marines he does have more than Mover, will not count so much, because those medivacs will heal quite a lot. And ThisisJimmy, Mover already started to mine here at the planetary fortress, meanwhile not falling behind in terms of supply, and especially the mule on the planetary fortress allowing Mover to just build so much more stuff. He just finished with a +1 attack a while ago. He just will finish with the armor for the forces here very soon. So now he is moving out. Jimmy just scanned this, and Mover just wants to check, oh, still the destructible rocks there? Still my marine here? So Jimmy is actually on 2 bases, and Jimmy wanted to go for the attack here at the planetary fortress of Mover. Meanwhile, Mover is going here for the attack of the natural already of ThisisJimmy. So if ThisisJimmy will be able to... No, he pulls back, he just leaves his 2 siege tanks there. So where are the marines? There they are. And now the marines and the marauders, the nice army positioning here by Mover, and he will just annihilate and obliterate all those forces at the same time. Let's take a look at the supply. They were having the same supply, and with the decision of ThisisJimmy not to go for the base trade and just moving only with the marines, not with the siege tank there, and just attacking on this choke area. So we saw such a nice arc by Mover, and Mover was faster in macro once again, even though it was not that far ahead in terms of upgrades. This time the decision making of Mova was really good. The decision making of This Is Jimmy not the best, because moving away with your Marines I can understand. I can even understand why he let his tanks be there, because he had tanks on siege. They have to roll over there. They are just freaking slow. So the fast Marines with a movement speed of 3 point something are just so freaking fast. And of course, if Mova actually would have been able to get the Splinter Fortress down to This Is Jimmy, he still would have to walk through the natural. Meanwhile, Mova already killed the natural, so to say, in terms of base trading, Mova was one base ahead already. But that's about it. Mova taking the second game, so now he is up 2-1 against This Is Jimmy. He needs to win one more game to be able to win the US Craft Cup, and I think it was US Craft Cup number 20. I can take a look, and indeed it was the US Craft Cup number 20. So yeah, next game coming up in 2 minutes.